Coming up on this episode of Student DV, we play drums, record an album, and use music as medicine. Stay tuned for all this and more on Student DV. Welcome to another exciting episode of Student DV. My name is Aaliyah Evans, and I'll be your host for this episode all about music. So grab an instrument and let's begin. First up, we have a documentary about a rock band known as Knockout.
What's it like to be in a band?
I think it's really fun.
It's fun.
Well, it's fun.
It's a good experience.
It's cool being in a band.
We started about a year ago. Around at this exact same time, I would think, actually.
I play drums.
I play guitar.
I play bass guitar.
None of us could sing, and they all pointed at me. Me and Justice played a gig once, about 2 years ago, and it was at my dad's friend's house, and it was just me and him. We didn't have a drummer or anything. And then at the end, they were like, "What are you called?" Because we had no idea. We hadn't made a name. We were just kind of jamming it out. And then the drummer, his name was Paul. He's the drummer for my dad's band. He was just like, he said something like, "We knocked it out" or something. And I was like, "Knockout." Music is a good way to kind of secretly get your feelings out there, kind of get what's on your mind.
To me, it's just a fun way to hang out with friends.
Life is terrible sometimes, and just playing music with people helps out with that.
Me and Justice have been playing music since 7th grade, but we wanted to get a drummer. We've had a couple bands actually, none have ever lasted this long, but I think it's good because with the other bands that we had, we would always fight, and this band, we haven't gotten a single fight in over a year. When I started, my biggest inspiration was Green Day, but as I moved forward more, I started just like writing the way I wanted to write things instead of trying to copy other people's stuff.
I listen to all music, but say for my particular playing style, I like mostly punk rock, and I love Rancid, Green Day, most punk bands.
The band A Day to Remember is probably one of my biggest influences.
You can't write a song out of nothing. If there's not a meaning in a song, it's not a good song.
Yeah, definitely if you're having a bad day, playing songs or playing music can definitely help you.
Whether you're having a bad day or a good day, it just helps to have an outlet.
Our first song took like days and days, and now we can learn one song in like an hour.
My favorite part about being in a band is being with my friends.
Playing the music, because playing music is fun.
My favorite part is playing shows. That's really, really awesome.
No matter what, I'm always going to be involved in some kind of music. I'm going to be majoring in like music production and stuff, so even if I'm not in a band, I'm still going to be making music in my own way.
If it doesn't work out, I'll probably still do music. I don't know if I'll keep on going with bands, but yeah, I'll be a teacher. Probably a history teacher.
Different band. Not gonna lie. I was serious. I'm just gonna keep doing music, so yeah, different band if this one doesn't work out, or just do my own thing.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, that looks like so much fun. But don't you wish you could play an instrument like that? Well, maybe you can. Elias Reed is going to teach us how to play drums correctly.
Hello, my name is Elias, and today I'm going to show you how to use the drums properly. But before I do, I want to show you how to hold drumsticks first before we get into playing the drums. To hold a drumstick, it must be held with at least 3 fingers and a thumb to give it less of a grip. Do not grip on the drumstick. It must be held in the correct position to give it a good bounce while playing. Now it's time to play the drums. To play the drum, you need to hold the drumstick over the drum and move your wrists up and down to play. Do not move your arms up and down over the drum. That can give you some music errors. Now it's time to use some foot pedals. To use the foot pedal, you must put your heel on the pedal and move your foot up and down to play. Finally, it's time to play the cymbals. This is a hi-hat. The hi-hat also has a foot pedal to move the cymbals up and down. This is a crash cymbal. To play, you can hit it like a snare drum, but another way to play is you can lightly tap it with your drumstick. And this is a suspended cymbal. To play the suspended cymbal, all you need to do is just play it normally. And that is how you use the drums properly.
So maybe you're not a drummer. That's okay, because Catherine is going to teach us how to play piano.
A C chord is a happy chord. The C chord is played with 3 notes, C, E, and G. In order to play the C chord, you must find these 2 black notes, go to the left, and go down 1. Now you have found C. Now put your thumb on C, middle finger on E, pinky on G. Put it together. Now you have learned how to play a C chord.
You're sounding great. Now you're on your way to stardom. All that's left now is to make a recording album. Luckily for you, the Lennon tour bus is just rolled up and is ready to start recording. Let's check it out.
Guitars, pianos, and drums. These are just a few of the instruments that students at Franklin High School got to jam out with when the John Lennon Educational Tour Bus came to visit their campus.
The John Lennon Bus is a mobile recording studio that is a nonprofit organization all focused on carrying on the legend of John Lennon and spreading his message of peace and love through making music with students.
And make music they do.
Pretty girls and starting conversations. All my friends are turning green. In their dreams.
They celebrated their 20th year with the very newest technology and gear. The bus continues to be dedicated to providing young people with tours of the studios and participation in free digital media production workshops.
So the typical recording session with students is an 8-hour day where we write an original song, record that song, and then shoot a music video to go along with the song. So it's a lot to get done in one day, but we have a lot of fun with the students, and everybody kind of has a learning experience. They're learning things, we're always learning things, so it's great for everyone involved.
The bus travels around the country, visiting schools, music and technology conferences and events, partnering with community and media outlets to call attention to the importance of arts and digital media education.
We get to see the impact that we're having on their lives directly. So we see the inspiration that they get just from stepping onto the bus.
Many students got to jam out, tour the bus, and ask questions about arts and digital media education. Reporting for WCTV, I'm Nick Conklin.
I wouldn't mind taking a road trip on that bus. It's got all kinds of instruments on board. Music is just so inspiring. But did you know that music can also be used to treat medical conditions? Here's Catie Barnett to tell us more.
So basically I'm explaining that music can be more than just something that you listen to make you feel happy. It can actually help your health and make you feel better medically, not just emotionally.
What if I told you there was a miracle cure and it was free? It's probably not what you're thinking. Still don't understand? Here's Dr. Harry McElroy from San Francisco to help me explain.
Hi, my name is Dr. Heron. I'm an integrative and functional medical doctor in San Francisco, California. One of the more recent uses of using sound in therapy, and certainly the most pertinent in the US, is recognizing that a lot of Alzheimer's patients experience a syndrome that we often call locked in, where they sit there the entire day with no awareness of the outside environment. Almost by accident, 5 or 10 years ago, some researchers decided that they would expose some of these Alzheimer's patients to the music that they listened to when they were younger. They were incredibly surprised by the results. They found that some of these patients that literally sat there all day long and needed to be clothed, needed to be fed, and needed to be taken to the bathroom, that when they were exposed through the simple use of an iPod to some of the music that they listened to when they were younger, they perked up. This is a very cheap and very powerful intervention that is allowing so much joy to come into people's lives that otherwise are fairly void of it. Not only is it providing more happiness to these people, this could prove to be an excellent intervention that can not only allow people to live a more fulfilled life, but also cut down significantly on the costs of drugs and care attendance.
Wow, that's interesting. Who would have thought? Here with more interesting facts about the medical benefits of music is a local piano teacher, Linda Kramer.
Very, very good story about how music affects people. I discovered it personally with my mother, who had severe Alzheimer's in her later years, and she was such that her head was always looking down and her arms would be like this. And my mom didn't talk, she didn't look up at anybody, she didn't acknowledge anybody, and we had gone to a Christmas concert at the home that my mother was staying in. And they had a quartet of people there playing Christmas music. And when they played Silent Night, my mother's head came up, and we had not seen this in over a year. My mother's head came up, and she actually started mouthing the words to Silent Night, and we could not believe it. We totally couldn't believe it. So I went over to my mother's to spend the day with her about a week later, and I took a Christmas CD that we had always listened to when I was a child making Christmas cookies, the Andy Williams Christmas CD, and we listened to it every year. And I put the CD on, and I started singing with Andy Williams, and my mother's head came up. She didn't look at me, but she was looking out, and again, she started mouthing the words. And then when the CD was over, she kind of just went back to wherever she goes. And so I started experimenting with music. I would bring my guitar and I would sing songs that I had sung when I was younger, but it didn't affect my mom. But if I sung an Anne Murray song or an Andy Williams song, my mother's head would go up. So it was a song that she could relate to. Someone that she loved to listen to before she got Alzheimer's. And it was absolutely unbelievable. I could not believe what I was seeing. It was literally the only thing that would bring my mom out of wherever the place she was. And now I'm in a 2-piano group, and we perform at retired homes, but we also perform at Alzheimer's facilities, Shriners Hospital and the Cancer Center. But with the older people, it's really interesting because when we play, they'll come and talk to us afterwards, and they'll say that a certain song we played kind of transported them back to when they were young. And it is amazing how the music will bring them out, and transporting is the word that they often use a lot with me. They say, that took me back when I was in high school, that took me back when I was a child. And it's so amazing to me to see what music can do to bring these people out of whatever place they go to.
music sure does make me feel better. As it turns out, music also has the ability to make us feel better. Let's hear more from Dr. Harry McElroy about music's power to lift our spirits.
One of the other aspects of music and therapy that I think most of us are aware of is how music can affect our mood. Sometimes when we're feeling down and we've had a rough day, that sometimes listening to some of our favorite music can really help elevate us out of that doom and gloom and just start to feel a little bit better. It really allows us to recognize that whatever's happening in the moment will pass, and music has that power to really take us into a happier moment. I think that more therapeutically, that can also be used working with people that have a not just melancholy, but more of an actual depression, and really using the music to have more of an uplifting effect. Sometimes that's all we need, is a little transition from a place that seems fairly dark to come into the light.
Isn't it remarkable how something as simple as music can be used to treat Alzheimer's and depression? It makes you wonder, what else can music do?
So our first video fusion is about the Franklin High School dance team that came to perform at our school to show what they can do.
Wednesday, January 25th, Fusion came to TJMS to show us their skills and give us a little taste of what their main stage performance would be like.
Lots of hard work, lots of sweat. Make sure you always have a good attitude about it, always work hard, never, ever, ever give up. Performing here was absolutely wonderful. Thank you all for coming to watch. You guys were a great crowd. I hope to see you guys at our show.
Fusion is split into two teams, apprentice and principal. Apprentice practices during one of your periods during school for 2 terms or all year, depending on your grade. Principal dancers practice during 6th period every day all year and after school on Tuesday through Thursday till around 6.
At auditions, first there's an application. There's going to be an informational meeting on February 21st. That's a Tuesday, right after school at about 3:05 over in the dance room at Franklin High School. And I'll be giving out applications as well as permission slips. And then for the audition itself, you don't have to have any experience, although it helps. And then you'll learn some hip-hop steps as well as some jazz turns, kicks, leaps, stuff like that, and then you'll perform it for us to evaluate you.
You can come audition for Fusion on February 25th. Bring your best. Hope to see you there. I'm Kayla reporting for TJTV. Now back to you.
All right, good evening everyone. I'm Austin Madison. All right. Okay, so I'm going to talk today a little bit about brainstorming. How do you start brainstorming a story? Whether you're a journalist and you're trying to create a story out of documented materials, or if you're an animator and you're creating every single frame by hand, all stories are told basically the same way. What does every story start with? Once upon a time. All right. This is what every single story starts with, you know? Once there was a cowboy doll who thought he was the very favorite toy. Once there was a farm boy who dreamed of fighting a galactic empire. You know, this goes on and on and on. All right, so we're gonna start our own story now. And what is the hero of a story called? Protagonist. So we're going to create a protagonist. That is step one. So we can create any protagonist in the world. It could be a walking leopard with a potato head. It could be a door with measles. It could be anything. What do you guys want to tell a story about tonight? A squirrel? Any other ideas? A cockroach? A greyhound? What's that? A cop with short-term memory loss. That sounds pretty compelling. Who wants to do a story about a cop with short-term memory loss? Once there was a cop with short-term memory loss. Is our character tall or short? On the count of three, just shout it out. 1, 2, 3. Short! Everybody wants a short guy. All right. Is he fat or skinny or muscular? You have three choices. 1, 2, 3. She's short, fat. All right. This guy, is he handsome or is he ugly? I can guess what we're going to say here. Oh, handsome. I would have put money on ugly. Short, fat, and handsome. Are you guys describing me? So, undercover or uniform? 1, 2, 3. Undercover. I heard uniform. All right, uniformed, short, fat, handsome. 1, 2, 3. Comedy. Comedy, of course, it's comedy. So he's a celebrated cop. So once there was a cop with short-term memory loss, an overweight problem, weapons, awards, and a handsome face. Every day, he what? What does this cop do every day of his life? Right here, I see a young enthusiastic man.
Ate a donut with coffee.
Now, who wants to think like an animator? All right. So when an animator hears he eats donuts and drinks coffee, he thinks, well, what kind of donuts? What kind of donuts does this guy eat? I need to know the specifics. Pink ones. All right. Okay, he likes pink ones. I like the pink donuts. I like the pink donuts. He ate pink donuts with sprinkles until one day, someone brought in the wrong donut. And that's the title of our film, The Wrong Donut. What's the next thing that happens because of that? You want your story to be compelling. You want every scene to be necessary. Every scene should have that one nugget of information that compels the next scene. What is the next thing that happens is a direct correlation to that. And then we could do because of that, and because of that, and because of that. All right, everybody, does everybody have paper, pencils, brains? Okay, the brains is probably the most important. I want you guys to come up with one storyboard for each because of that. And you guys can have as many because of that's as you want and be like Peter Jackson, or you can have one because of that and be like a cool Super Bowl commercial and get straight to the point. So everybody ready? And then I'll be going around and we'll pick one group to pitch to the entire cafeteria. All right? All right, go. How you guys doing? Any questions? And then what?
And then you tag Lennon and then the donut is safe.
So, and the donut's safe, and maybe they make the donut the new police commissioner instead of him. It's up to you. It's up to you guys, but
I like that.
we need that last beat, that last until finally. All right, who came up with a story they were relatively happy with? Who just had fun? Who just had a good time? Woo! Come on, where's the Niners love? Woo! Awesome. All right, this is a story basically, roughly based on this group's, although theirs is much more creative. I did not have the time to draw everything in their story, but this is my version. All right, so once there was a cop with short-term memory loss. Every day he'd eat pink sprinkled donuts and drink coffee until one day someone brought him a donut that wasn't pink. And because of that, he erupted in a tantrum, flinging donuts all over the place. I will not eat these donuts, this is unacceptable. And he actually started to punch the donut baker. Because of this, he was fired from the police force. Get out. You are dishonorably discharged. Because of that, unfortunately, he forgot he was discharged and tried to get donuts again. But nobody would give him donuts because he was already known as a donut baker beater-upper. And because of that, he was all alone and was unable to eat donuts. But he met a girl who ran a juice stand. And because of that, she gave him juice, which he discovered that he liked much more than donuts. And he learned that he didn't actually have a lack of memories. It's just that he had no one to make memories with. And because of that, Aw. They made memories together, and the juice, being much healthier than donuts, made him the greatest cop ever. He was welcomed back into the force with open arms, and because of that, he protects all donut bakers from anyone who would ever beat them up. The end. All right. All right, thank you so much for the inspiring story, you guys. You guys did an awesome job. A lot of really cool ideas. All right, guys, thanks so much for coming, and I hope that was insightful. All right, everybody have a good night. Thank you.
That's all the time we have for you today. If you'd like to see more student videos, you can always check out our website at secctv.org. And make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I'm Aaliyah Evans. Thanks for watching.